Hi, this is Matt Kennedy reporting from the Anaheim Convention Center just moments after the House of Deputies adopted Resolution C056 in the very same form in which it was adopted by the House of Bishops. And what that means is that now C056 represents the position of General Convention as a whole to the church. C056, if you remember, calls for the collection and development of liturgical resources. It also provides room or space for bishops, all bishops, but particularly those in states where same-sex unions and same-sex marriages have been legalized, to create, experiment, and explore liturgies for either same-sex unions or same-sex marriages, same-sex blessings or same-sex marriages. Very important legislation. This, along with D025, which was passed earlier in the week, call into question now the Episcopal Church's place in the wider communion. Just today, the presiding bishop wrote a letter to her fellow Anglican primates, and she, along with the president of the House of Deputies, Bonnie Anderson, wrote a letter to the Archbishop of Canterbury explaining the position that has emerged over the last 2 days here in the Convention Center, the official position of 815, which is neither of these resolutions undercut the commitments that the Episcopal Church has to the Anglican Communion as expressed in B033 from 2006 and in the moratoria. Although, if you read the letters carefully, they acknowledge that now many will interpret D025, especially and C056 now, as providing wider latitude and authorization for dioceses and bishops in those dioceses to act in ways that would be seen as inconsistent with B033. Those letters are worth a careful read. Also, take note of the timing. It is now past 10 p.m. in London. The presiding bishop's letters have been released earlier this afternoon, which means that they have hit the news cycle right at the end of the weekend, and now it will be at least until Monday before Canterbury is able to respond, more than likely, unless something extraordinary happens. So the Episcopal Church has won the news cycle, as we might say if we were talking politics. So big news. The convention is ending with a bang, and we'll have to see what happens in the next few days and most likely months. This is the last video report from Anaheim Convention Center and from Stand Firm, at least here during this time in Anaheim. I've really enjoyed being here. I know it sounds funny, but I have, and I've enjoyed being able to give you the news as soon as it happens. This is Matt Kennedy for Stand Firm signing off.